Good afternoon and a warm welcome to today's session. I'm Sushmita Devishetty from Upgrad. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. So just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the webinar, apart from the ones you have asked in the registration form, please type them in the chat box. I'll bring them up at the
Q&A box.
Yeah,
Q&A box.
the Q&A box. So
Q&A
now
box.
without any further ado, we'll move to our topic, life of a data scientist in Germany. Today we have our expert panelists, Mr. Kiran Kumar and Mr. Ankur Dhawan. Mr. Kiran Kumar is an alumni of Upgrad. He did his master's in data science from IIIT Bangalore and is now working as a data scientist in Germany. Ankur is a graduate of IIT Varanasi and IIM Bangalore, and he's currently serving as the president of Upgrad Abroad. Over to you, Ankur.
Thank you, Dave. Just to correct, I think Kiran will correct me otherwise. He has done a diploma with IIIT Bangalore, not the master's. And yeah, so yes.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, I think the start, I think, Kiran, why don't you introduce yourself as a background? Where do you belong to in India? What did you do as an education before you did our course?
Sure, definitely. I'm from South India. I'm from Visakhapatnam. So I have done my bachelor's in MVGR College, which is near to Visakhapatnam. After that, I joined as a career. I started my work in TCS in Chennai. So during that phase, I started. I was working as a data analyst. Then I want to move into a data science career, wherein which I got the opportunity I want to pursue something. So that's where I came across this Upgrad course. So I did my course in PG diploma in data science. Then I moved to United Health Group in Hyderabad. I worked there for 2 years as a data scientist. Then I moved to Berlin last year, 2 years back. And I worked here for a couple of companies. So currently, I'm working as a senior data scientist in NPAL. NPAL is a
I think there is a problem.
Yeah, Kiran is having some. Let's wait for him to join back. Yeah, sorry, you're frozen for some time.
Could hear me? So I don't know. I didn't. It was frozen for a minute.
Yeah. You were talking about your company NPAL.
So NPAL is a renewable energy company. So I'm working as there as a senior data scientist. So they're into solar systems and batteries. So they're more into green energy. So that is one main thing in Germany right now. So green energy.
Yeah, I think it should be everywhere. Germany is a leader we should all follow. India also is talking a lot about renewable energy, and we are seeing some movement there. I'm sure we will also have all renewable energy.
But India has a more potential, in fact.
Yeah, great. We had a lot of sun around. So solar energy is something we should be able to capture well. Yeah. I think one point which you mentioned, it's very interesting. I saw a question from one of the learners, prospective learner or learner, I don't know, but yeah, he wanted to ask, what is the difference between data analyst and data scientist?
So data analyst is a part of a role for a data scientist. So data analyst just does the analysis on the data. So it takes the data and do some analysis, some EDA. So that is part of a role in a data scientist. So from EDA, data scientist takes care into a modeling, making predictions, and building pipelines and delivering into a production. So these roles involved in a data scientist. So data analyst only just a part of data scientist, I would say.
Is this an initial level job? So once you do data science, do you start with data analyst, or is it like something who have not even done data science role can start as a data analyst?
Yes, so data analyst, having a knowledge in data analyst, it's like, as I mentioned, so it is a part of data science job. So when you start as a career as a data analyst, it gives you a clear idea what is data and how do you need to do analyze. So from the analysis, how do you take it further, like modeling and all. So I would say it's a starting point in a career for data scientist.
Got it, understood. And I think just for them, data scientists, like scientists, we always knew that who works in a lab and he experiments by putting chemicals together and something comes out of it, or someone we have seen like Einstein who's doing some scientist work some models, pendulum. What is a data scientist? Is he throwing data around?
Yeah, I mean, data scientist involves a lot of responsibilities. So basically, first of all, whenever you want to build any data science product, you need to get information from the stakeholders or business holders. So they'll come with some problem, say that I want to understand why people are not enrolling in a course or whatever it is. Some hypothesis they come into, and from that we have to see like what data we need to collect in order to answer their question. So once you have a data sources, then you do all this preparation and modeling and all. Once after that, again you have to communicate back to the stakeholders saying this is the problem, this is where the our pain point is. If you can modify this, we can improve our conversion rate or whatever it is based on the use case.
Got it. So you were working as a data analyst in TCS, and then you decided to take some course which will help you become data scientist. Just to understand, when you completed this, so first of all, what was your experience of Triple ID Bangalore? I think this is one of the oldest running program which Upgrade has been running. What was your experience of doing that program?
So when I was initially looking for programs like this, why I have chosen Upgrade is Upgrade was an online course for me. So it was easy. I can parallelly work and do the course. So that is the reason I choose. And the curriculum is also, I compared with other curriculums at that point, like it's back in 2016. And I find it very interesting because I have some knowledge already in the data and science there back then. So the curriculum was also very interesting to me. So I have chosen the curriculum, and the instructors, I mean, the courses were very good. There was assignments, quizzes and everything. I really like it. And that really helped me to ace into other job interviews for me, in the few, like after that I got placed in USG, and I got other opportunities from other companies as well. So yeah, it played a vital role there. So basically now I was practicing in my work. So theoretical knowledge also definitely helped me to widen my scope.
Yes, I understand. And I think that the point, I don't know whether you got the USG job on your own or from Upgrade helped you, but at least you got the outcome which you're looking for, getting into data sciences role. So, okay, now I think one thing which I wanted to understand from you, data scientists in India versus the data science job which you do in Germany. What is there a difference? There are two parts we can discuss: the work profile, the lifestyle, and all, and Germany is such. And second thing is the quality of work, the quality of problems which you're solving here versus in Germany. So can you throw some light on this one?
Sure. Data science role, more or less anywhere it is kind of same, because once you have a business problem, you need to take the data and do the modeling and all. But in Germany, especially like the problems which we follow, which we focus, their intention is to give it to a customer. So they want to reach out to the customers. What are the most of the products we focus? It's not only a POC level, and it reaches to the customers, and you can see the outcome of your modeling or your analysis, whatever you have performed. Where in India, most of the projects we do in the large companies, it's like it's stuck in the POC phase only, because it won't reach real to the customers. But as the time goes, it is also happening in India. But here also, the work culture wise, here compared to India and here, it's like punctuality is, as a German, we know it's a very number one. And planning, they properly plan everything. And so based on that, the work will go, and work pressure and also won't be there. So work culture is really good and really professional, and a lot of international candidates would be there. So they give you a lot of insights about the product, because when you build a product, you have to think about, the product should reach to all the customers, right? So when you have an international alumni with you or colleagues with you, you know what kind of thoughts or ideas every person will have. That will definitely help you. And work culture wise, I really felt comfortable here. People are very straightforward. They'll give you an opinion. If it is really good, they'll prize you and everything. And yeah, and I never felt any racism or any kind of issues in the work culture. The work culture is really cool here.
Great. I think this is one point which I want to go. You have already brought this out. You have already spent 2 years in this country, and you have been in US as well. I understand you have done some work in US.
I haven't been in US. I was able to go to US, but I went.
You worked for a US company, thing.
Yeah, I work for US company.
Yeah. So in terms of the culture, did you see any difference between Germany versus US?
Yeah, I mean, Germany culture-wise, as I mentioned, so their planning is perfect, and the work culture is very cool compared to US, so a bit aggressive. And here also they focus only on the timeline, so they don't ask you anything after the work hours. So you just work, only the work hours. After the work hours, they don't even question you anything. So that kind of flexibility is there, and you also have a freedom to raise any ideas you have here, because mostly I worked in startups here, so that's why I got a lot of freedom to rise ideas, my ideas.
And we have been hearing that Berlin is the startup capital of the Europe. Is it true?
Of course, yeah, it has a lot of startups. In fact, during pandemic, these lot of startups had an issue because of no, all of a sudden pandemic started and they don't know, they don't have investors and all. But German government also, they did really great job in withholding all these startups. They paid money to every employees for 1 year, so to make sure all the startups are surviving.
Great,
So,
great. Yes. That's really nice to hear. One question which I think you can answer better, but I think you were doing coding when you were working in TCS, or you had a sense of how the coding is done? How important it is to know coding to start a triple ID Bangalore course, and at the end of the course, does it matter whether you knew coding or not?
So so I know coding. I mean, I have a bit of coding background, but as a data scientist, it's not about more of coding, because all of the libraries, whatever we make use of for analysis or building model, it's very straightforward. Only thing we need to understand the right questions. What is the question? What is the outcome we are looking for? Because even it's a Python or R, there is a huge community for every question you have. All this, whatever the analysis you want, there is a solutions. And to be honest, it will take some, at least maybe to the max of 1 month to get the nuances. It's like you need to practice. So even though those are very small, like commands, you need to just practice to get hang out of it. That's all. So once you know that, it's easy. It's not that difficult, because we don't do extensive programming like other developers, like other backend and front end developers as they do.
So what I understand is backend and front end developers will develop the libraries which you will be using. So they do their job, you do your job.
Yeah, kind of.
Great. So I think this was one of the questions which people were asking, whether coding is required. So you answered it well, that coding is not mandatory to be known. You should know technology. I think that's one thing which, like, we are using our phones and we can figure out which app is required to do what purpose. Similarly, you will have a library of apps and you need to decide which app to use for which purpose. Is it my right portrayal, Kiran?
Yeah, exactly. So you already have many libraries, so you need to make use of what libraries need to be implemented for this kind of problem. And there is a proper documentation to make use of it, everything. So it should not be hard. And also, to give an example, one of my friend, he is not from a coding background. However, he managed to learn data science, and he managed to do all this data science programming codes within less time, because it's not very hard.
So I think the attitude required here to learn data science is to follow problem solving. If you have a problem and you are able to break it in parts and figure out different part solution and then bring the full model, and you should have obviously a patience to go through the data. I think that's more important. Patience to go through data and try to get intuition out of the data, and then you build those hypotheses, test it out. So yeah, it's a hard work. It's a pretty hard work, as I understand. And I have done only Coursera course. I have not done Triple ID Bangalore course, but I understand that Coursera course which I did, which was just I think it's a basic knowledge which I could get. I think some of the questions, some of the learners would have gone through that Coursera course of N2NG, which is I think everybody knows about it, and that's the first course that people go and see because it's a free one. Have you done that, Kiran? Have you looked at that course? I think Kiran is off.
I'm sorry.
Your camera was okay. I'm thinking, do you know about this Coursera course?
Coursera course, yeah, I know. I did it in before I even joined Upgrad. I did that course. I mean, that was the first course I think I have done it. I mean, I'm not sure whether it is Coursera or not, but I have done course from, I think it's from Coursera only. So, I mean,
Yeah. This Andrew.
Andrew
Yeah. So
NG course basically. I have,
Andrew. Yeah.
but I have seen his videos in YouTube, but I'm not sure whether it is in Coursera or not, because back then I'm not, Coursera was not so popular. But I've seen his videos, linear regression models in YouTube. So there are videos in YouTube.
Yeah. So I think Triple ID Bangalore is much more rigorous than what you do as a Coursera course. I think that's what you will be doing assignment and you'll be asked to submit
Of course.
assignment.
Coursera's course is just to give you an idea. So Triple IT Bangalore course, which I did, it's really like not to have. You can do it in a real kind of projects. If not real, it's kind of simulation project. So to get understand how the real world applications work. So,
Got it. So now I think I'll move to the one more question which everybody has been asking. How easy it is to find a data scientist job in Germany? And I think you have made a job change, so I'm assuming you will be able to tell us more. We have been hearing that there are 1 lakh odd jobs available in Germany, and there are less people there, skilled people. That's why the jobs are more plenty than the people who can take. You have a real life experience of that. Can you just talk more about it?
Sure. There are a lot of job opportunities, that is for sure. And opportunities for data scientists also. There are many companies right now. They are looking for, every company they're looking for a data scientist, and the opportunities in data science is booming everywhere. And in Berlin, and like in the cities, like international cities like Berlin, Munich, Frankfurt, and all, it's okay even if you don't know German language, and you can get a job in English speaking companies. However, knowing a German language will definitely give you a boost to your profile, and you can get more opportunities across the Germany. So, but the opportunities are there. So to increase the opportunity scope, German language for sure it will help. In my case, I don't know German, but I'm surviving since 2 years. Even my friends
And
also.
many of your friends, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so even many of my friends, they don't speak German, but because we are in Berlin or Munich kind of international cities, we were kind of getting opportunities. However, no, there are opportunities in other places in Germany, a lot of opportunities. So for that, having a German is definitely helpful.
And I think I just add to this, and this is something which I've been telling learners earlier as well, that you don't need to know German language to go and study there. It's an English taught course. But once you go there, it's better because you are still in the learning stage. You are still a learner there. You have time on hand. I'm sure Kiran is doing 8 hours a day, so he might have difficulty in doing another course on German language. But as a learner, you will have plenty of time with the IU Germany in a career center. They are doing this in a German language course, which you can go and learn. And you don't need to start from India. Actually, once you learn from the native, I think you'll learn better. Your pronunciation will be much better. And that's a I think time to learn when like you're learning data science. Similarly, you can learn your German language. So I think that's an advantage which you get when you go through this course. You have plenty of time to learn a language, experience, and interact with the locals because you're studying. So you will have German studying with you in the campus. Interact with the locals, build on your knowledge. When you go for the job interviews, you're much better prepared. That's something, and you don't need to be at B1 level on day one. Don't worry, you will reach there at some point in time. You will reach there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So basically, what you're saying is that main cities, Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, you can survive. At least you have survived for 2 years without knowing German language. That means these cities are basically English speaking. They welcome English speakers.
Exactly, yes. Because more of they're like international. The cities have an international vibe, so it also multicultural and multinational. So everyone speaks English, most of them. So there is no issue.
Yeah. That's good to know. See, I have been in Munich for 2-3 weeks once, so I know I could survive without. For 3 weeks, it's easy to survive anywhere, but still, I didn't know any German. I never tried learning German. And but yeah, I think if you're going for a long term, I believe it's good to learn a language once you are in that then region, once you're in country. Great. So I think I have covered whatever I wanted to cover. Now let me take questions which have come from the users and learners and see. Okay, so we have a did you get the new job in data science field via upgrad, or did you search for it by yourself? This was one of the query which I also wanted to ask. One of the learner, which is anonymous today, has asked this question. Did you learn on your, did you get a job of USG from TCS on your own, or was it a support given by upgrad?
I mean, it's job opportunity I got on my own, but upgrad definitely helped me. I mean, in the sense of, because I was learning from the upgrad course, so the knowledge which I'm accumulating from the upgrad definitely helped me in acing my interview.
Sure. You completed in 2018 or 17?
17, yes. So what
17. So I'll say you will be amongst the first few batches, because you started in 2015. First batch would have come in 2016. You were second batch, I believe. And since then, I can confirm to everybody who is here that the upgrade placement services, the career services, have grown by multiple notches. The way we prepare, we have now one-to-one interviews, just-in-time interviews, your visa review, your resume reviews, your mentoring sessions. All of that is now available to help you find a job. And we also have a portal where the jobs are posted, which helps students in getting the job. And there are a lot of testimonials. You can just go and search on LinkedIn where people have found a job after doing this course. So yes, Kiran was among the first few batches. He didn't get the benefit of it, but being a first mover has advantages as well as disadvantages.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any complaints. So.
Yeah, and I have done bachelor's in business administration. I don't have any experience in data science. So is this course good for me? I think this is one question which you can answer for the learners. Like, if you are not from engineering domain and you come from a domain, let's say BBA, BCom, BSc, can I do a data science course? Should I? Because Triple IT allows, and once you join the course, I think you will be able to do it. But just for learners' knowledge, what do you suggest? Whether they should continue in management or they should go for data science?
No, they can also go. Like, if you're talking about having a domain knowledge, should I pursue only in a domain wise, or should I go for a data science? I would say having a domain knowledge with data science is very good opportunities. Like, most of the data scientists right now lack across the globe is like domain knowledge, right? So they are very technical expertise. So they don't have a domain knowledge. So every time we build this product, we have to learn about the domain to give the better outcome. But if you already have some domain knowledge, it's all. And if you pursue data science, so you can apply your technical skills of data science in that particular domain. It will definitely open some more opportunities for person.
Got it. So I'll just summarize what I think Kiran wanted to say. It's always good to have domain knowledge, and domain knowledge will help you as a business. I'm saying as a business. If you have a BBA, I'm assuming you're doing something in bachelor's. I think one more question was on sales as well. So if you're doing something in sales, you know how the sales work. And then someone asks you, like, I'm just taking example of what we do in Upgrad as well, or any other company which is in sales. There is a lead which is coming, there is an inquiry which is coming, and we need to answer this question whether we should spend time on talking to the student or talking to this lead particularly or not. That's something who has done sales, who has run the sales team, has much more insight in these questions. And when he look at the data and do the data science and develop the model, his insights will be much better compared to someone who has not looked at, really been in domain and just trying to answer the same question. Am I right? This is what you wanted to say?
Exactly. Because say that as you mentioned about lead, so most of the sales, they look for this lead conversions, right? So having a sales knowledge definitely help you, using your data science knowledge and domain knowledge. It is easy to understand, okay, where exactly my lead conversion is happening, or where exactly it is dropping. If it is dropping, why it is dropping. So you have a better chance. So if I want to increase the conversion rate, what should I do? Because these projects, every company they do, but the data scientist does not understand this entire user journey, like how from the user calling to or reaching out to the product, and how the conversion happen. So they have to get a knowledge from the sales department to understand the journey of a user. But already having that knowledge and using the data science skills is very easy, because they know it everything. So they need to just put the data and in a right way. That's all.
Got it. I think one question which Siddharth is asking, Siddharth is one of our learners, that he's just curious whether you went to Berlin through a job search visa, or so obviously that time this program did not exist, so we did not help you. So I know you would have gone by, but I think the question which he's trying to answer is that did you find job and then went there, or you took a job search visa and then found a job?
Mine was a bit mix of everything. So I got a job seeker visa, and when I was in India, I also applied for a couple of opportunities, and I was doing interview. So I was almost finalized my interview. So I came here and I finished the last interview. Then they gave me opportunity. So it's like, yeah. So I came here within 1 week. I got an opportunity. So, my case is different. But
yeah, good. You were saying something.
Yeah. So similarly, other couple of my friends who came on job seeker visa, so they came here. After that, they searched for opportunities and they got opportunities as well.
Yes, I think the job search visa, I don't know how easy it is to get now, but at that time I know job search visa was available, and even it is now available for 6 months. Somebody who has done from India, they can go and do a job search.
How job search visa works is right now you need to get an appointment, but I see it is not possible now. I mean, it's very getting difficult. A lot of my friends who I know, they applied. It seems like they have a waiting list of 1 year or 1.5 years to get the appointment. It's like they sent a waiting list. So after that, you'll have a 6 months time period. Even if you get a job seeker visa, then you can look for an opportunity here.
Yeah, I think that's why this program makes sense, because there once they complete, first of all they are studying 1 year, so they have an interaction with the companies, they get to see many companies, network with the companies, and after that they have 18 months to stay in Germany and find a job. So I think this is a much better route.
Of course, because now getting appointment is difficult. Having a knowledge in data science in 1 year in India and coming here and pursuing a knowledge, so you have a master's, so you can reach out to the companies because you are already studying in Germany. So it's more reliable and more credible for them. Yeah. And as you mentioned, you have 18 months to search. That is very, very huge time. I never seen people using 18 months. So.
Yeah. So 18 months is actually not required, but this will give you 18 months to find a job. So that's a good thing. I have one question for Mr. Arun K, and he says that I have a 10 years experience and currently working as lead data analyst. What would be my future like if I opt for this? After the session, or we will take it during the session only. Arun, so Arun has a 10 years of lead data analyst experience. I think he should take data science as a profile, and coming to Germany is obviously his own choice. And if he comes there, he'll find a job. What do you think, that someone who has a 10 years of experience shall look at Germany as an option?
I mean, it is about what the particular person is looking for. It has both the advantages and the disadvantages. So, I mean, if the person really wants to be in Europe, and if they're looking for an opportunities in Germany, already being experienced in the lead analyst, because already he is working in a lead analyst, of course, so he knows about the data and all. So data science will definitely help his career. So coming to Germany, so he can also explore the opportunities to get a job in Europe culture. So that's also there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's again a personal choice. It's you want to.
Yeah. So Kiran, have you been to Europe, or
sorry?
Have you gone out of Germany? Have you gone out of Germany and seen Europe? You haven't visited Schengen?
Luckily, right, when I came, there was no pandemic. So I visited around 8 countries within Europe. So I visited.
I think that is an additional perk of going to Europe. You have one visa and you can go anywhere. You can
so you get a Schengen visa, or I have a PR. So you can travel around 28 countries within Europe. So that's really.
And you have a PR now?
I mean, I have a blue card, so it's also a resident.
Oh, you have a European Union blue card.
Yeah. So.
And EU blue card you got in 2 years?
I mean, I got a EU blue card when I came here. So when I got.
Okay. That as soon as you get a job, you can get an EU blue card.
Yes. So once you get a blue card, you can convert into PR in 3 years or 2 years if you have a German language.
Okay, so if you have a German language knowledge, you convert in 2 years. Otherwise, you do 3 years.
Exactly.
Okay, so even there you don't need German language knowledge. So everybody, but yeah, it's better to get. Again, I will say better to get than saying no. I think one more question, which I believe is a similar question. My background is in engineering, having experienced the logistics sector, but not technical. Want to switch to data science, but I am weak in coding, though I have never tried Python. Only studied Java and C in college. Please show me the roadmap. I think, Mayank, your question has been answered in bits and pieces, but I'll again, Kiran, would you again like to answer this question? Coding.
Sure. As a person is mentioning, they have knowledge in Java. So for sure, I think Python won't be that difficult. It's like a straightforward English kind of communication. So if you want a mean, you can just mention mean or median. So as I mentioned earlier, there are huge libraries and huge community out there. So for every question, there is an answer. So it's just you need to ask a right question. That's all.
Great. I'm taking question of Harsh Gupta now. I am a mechanical graduate, have a job in IT company as testing stream. How can I switch profile to data science, and how, after gaining experience data science, move to Germany or any other European countries? Harsh, I think Kiran can always answer this question, but I think this is the simplest question to answer. I think this is why we are talking about this particular program. You can shift your stream by doing this course, and Kiran has done the same thing from data analyst to data scientist event. You can this particular course of data science does not require you to be a data scientist to join. So anybody from any stream can join this particular program. And once you join, after end of this, you will be a data scientist. After the end of the 2 years in Germany, you'll be a data scientist. And as part of the program, only you'll be going to Germany. We will be helping you end to end in application, in your visa process, and finally sending you there. Whatever education loan, everything will be covered by us. And you can then stay in Germany. And see, once you reach Germany, you can go to any other European countries as well. So that's also open for you. As Kiran mentioned, he has an EU blue card. He's allowed to work anywhere in Germany, I believe, anywhere in Europe, if you want to.
If you work for 2 years in Germany, then you are allowed to work anywhere in Europe.
Yeah, but why will you work in Europe when you are working in Germany? That is the question which people ask. This is the largest economy in Europe.
Of course, if you want more opportunity and stable life, Germany is better. The economy is strong and they have very good options. Even for when you lose your job, also they support you with unemployment benefits. So that's also very cool here. So you don't need to worry. Once you work for here at least 1 year, then even if you lose job, so there is a great opportunity. I mean, you get back somewhere like 60% of your previous salary every month for 1 year or 6 months.
Wow. That's a social sector benefit.
So you can search another job. I mean, it won't happen. Labor law is very strict. So usually companies, they won't fire you. Maybe there might be some companies which might go bankrupt. Those scenarios, the unemployment benefit can help. But there are people who also leverage, like they want to take break for the career and they take out 3-6 months. Yeah, do the world tour. So kind of.
What is the truth behind Oktoberfest? We have been hearing a lot about how many people, like, have you been to Oktoberfest?
I haven't been. So it happens in, basically it's famous in Munich. Oktoberfest is like, but right now it's not happening because of COVID. Oktoberfest is like, people drink beer a lot.
If you're a beer drinker, I think it's a heaven for you. Fresh beer coming out of the.
It's like everyone brew there and completely drink, and it's like everyone get hangover there itself, sleep there itself.
So good. So I think Harsh, we answered your question. I'll just move to the next one then. Please tell us few important tips which will be helpful for freshers or job change and interested to work as a data analyst. So I'm assuming Dikshit Jagityala, is this question more for in India if you're trying to look for a job in data analyst? I'm assuming that, and I'll say, Kiran, if someone wants to, so I think you after you're doing your engineering, you went and to TCS straight away got a job of data analyst. Is it easy to get a job of data analyst in India?
I mean, see, in TCS, it's not like there is a defined role for a project, right? So it's like you go there and based on the project, you take up one role and you start working there. But easier to get a job in data analyst in India, I think There are opportunities in India as well for many companies. They are hiring for business analyst and data analyst. It is there are opportunities in India as well.
Great. Uh, Very interesting question. I think we have answered this, but again, let's answer this based on my experience as well. Is it possible to do a career transition from teaching to data science? What do you say?
Of course, yeah, anyone can do it. So as long as they're interested. So I mean, for an example, my particular CTO, he has been proficient in teaching. Now he's a CTO of the company. So yeah, anyone can from any field to any field can move. Especially in countries like Europe, they don't focus on what your background. So so they'll only see what currently you're doing and your ability to perform the roles. They don't care about whether you came from an different backgrounds, because it doesn't really matter to them. Even if you say that I was spending 2 years to understand myself what is life, also they accept it. So it's not like, so yeah.
So I'll just add to this. I think the last 1 year, 1.5 years now, I think we all have studied online only. And the way the teaching was done earlier has completely shifted in my mind. I think, especially for the kindergarten and K-12 segments, where the teaching was earlier kind of a boring. A professor will come and start writing on a blackboard or a green board or whiteboard, whatever it be. Now it is more about performance and how do you ensure people engage. And when you really know about, when you have been in classroom, you will have all the ideas about how to teach, how to keep the student engaged, how to identify which student is engaging, which is not. And that is the role of a job of data scientist in teaching. And if you talk about edtech, in edtech, we need teachers who have done teaching, because they build the insight for us to figure out if the student who is attending this particular webinar, for example, is he engaged or not? How do we, which data to look at, which model to put that, okay, the student who is falling behind, how do I improve his engagement? How do I focus more there? So there's a lot of data. So we talk about the learning is going to be adaptable. Every student will have their own learning path. That is what we're talking about. Only a teacher can help in doing this kind of analysis. Domain knowledge is extremely important. I think, which Kiran has mentioned earlier. If you are looking at a data scientist, domain knowledge is extremely important, and that will help you in finding a job.
Adding one more point
Yeah,
for
please.
you. So in like for the professions like teachers, it's also because whatever we do, we have to end of the day communicate to the stakeholders. So stakeholders are like not technical people, so they are like normal business holders. So teaching profession, I think they can really explain to everyone. They can do the storytelling properly, so it can communicate to every person. So having an experience in teaching, I think definitely they could do this like stakeholder management very easily, because whatever they try to convey, like communicate to stakeholders, they can also easily understand. So that is also very important role for the data scientist. Communicate the results back to the stakeholders, make sure they understand, because that's where the money comes, right? Business users are one who has to agree our work.
Great. I think this Dada has asked this question. Dada Nanjeshwar GS. Data engineer versus data scientist, which is better to work and who can earn more? I don't know about earning, but yes, we can talk about data engineer versus data scientist, I believe. For this question, Dada, if you want to do a one-to-one with Kiran, we can arrange that as well. Dada is our enrolled learner, so I just want to tell him that we can always do a one-to-one with Kiran, where you can ask this earning part, which I don't want him to answer in open. But yes, but data engineer versus data scientist, what is this?
So you want me to answer now, or
data engineer versus data science, not about salaries.
What
is the difference?
Data engineering versus data science is so data engineering job is a part of a data science job. Say that data science product is building. So data engineer job is to get the data, so place it in some place where data scientist can make use of it. After again, the data scientist takes the data and build the model. After the models, the data engineer helps these models to be making into production. So it's like data engineer is a part of in a data science, like giving data to data scientist and getting the output from data scientist and giving the outcome as a web application, or productionizing that code in like using Docker or Kubernetes based on the tech stack they use. So data engineer role is that. So
there is one question which I saw. What are the applications of data science in defense sector? Do you know?
Sorry,
Do you have any
defense
idea? Or
sector.
defense sector?
I mean, defense sector, they can always do. I don't know. Right now, nothing is striking. But there are many applications you can build. Whatever the problem you could see, if it is solved by using a data, you could use the AI application. Say if you want to identify from the images where the missiles or whatever it is, so you can always do.
I'm sure there must be some usage, because otherwise, how do you have guided missiles?
Exactly.
Missiles which will once track a particular airplane, or whatever, aircraft or fighter jet, and then go for that whatever trajectory it changes. It's only possible by doing some image recognition, and there's no way other way. That is one example. The other which I prefer to quote, and it's not a defense, but just for your information, there's a quote which is going around saying that next war will not be fought on the ground. It will be fought on the cybersphere. And when we talk about cybersphere, the kind of hacks which we are seeing, that our websites are getting hacked, our data is getting leaked, and the way cyber attacks are happening, the cyber defense will be important, and that will be again based on data. The kind of attacks you are seeing, based on that, you will determine is it going to be fatal. You will enable whatever has to be a defense mechanism. I think this is one of the area where cyber security and data science is merging. That's my view, and you can further study on it. Great. I have a 3 years experience in VLSI working as a standard design engineer. So whether the data science course will aid my career path, I think I'll say yes. But Kiran, do you have any idea about VLSI working as a standard data design engineer?
Yeah, no, I don't have any idea. But yeah.
So see, for everyone, I think maybe some questions I will skip, because any domain you come from, whether it be VLSI or you come from either it's defense or you come from any other domain, the domain knowledge, I think Kiran has mentioned earlier as well, is extremely important to do data science. And data science is the future of jobs. So eventually you will be actually answering your questions using data only and not based on your gut feeling. So that's where the answer will be this only. Let me just see what other. Okay, I am a BTech in IT. I have worked in 25 countries until now.
Okay.
And now struggling to move background. I'm working as a senior project program manager currently, and I'm also a little aware of Dosh as a language. My question is, can we get international job in January from India directly post-course completion? How easy will it be? Can upgrade placement help us in this? I think I'll answer one part, which is easier for me to answer, is that we will not be able to help you get a job in Germany from here. We will obviously help you in getting a job in India here. Once you go to Germany, you will obviously get a help from our partner university, which is International University of Applied Sciences. And you will be able to find a job once you go there. Their track record is 94% students get a job within 6 months. I'm sure if you have such a wonderful experience of 25 countries, Deutsch language, I think it should be a cakewalk for you. As far as job search visa is concerned, I think Kiran told you some time back that it used to be an easier thing, but now the appointments are not available.
Yeah, and also to point one thing, like he also mentioned that he knows German language there. So having a German knowledge and experience in multiple international countries, so you can apply for opportunities there. There are few companies, they can also do the visa process. So example, my company, they have hired people from Sri Lanka and India like few months back. But it's not every company there. That's a very lean chance, I would say. It's like the probability is very less getting a job from India to Germany directly. But there are opportunities. Having a knowledge definitely in German definitely helps.
Yeah. So Tohin, anything is possible, and I believe in saying that everything is possible. There is nothing called impossible. You need to work hard for that. If you're so keen of going from India only to Germany, you'll have to work harder. But the easier route which we have given to you is to go and study in Germany, 18 months of post-study work visa. You know Deutsch language. Why not get a job there by going to Germany and study there? You also contribute to the economy by going there.
Yeah, easier road, and that is certain path, right? So you already set the path. So how can people go? But getting directly job from India, it's like a probable chance. You know, you never know. It's completely uncertain.
Yeah. And I think this question I will ask, though I don't know how to answer you, how you can answer this question, but just for the attendees. Hi Kiran, I am in TCS. Is it worth going for upgrade MSc Data Science course jointly with Triple IITB and IU Germany and joining back TCS completion of the course? I think the question he's asking is does TCS exist in Germany and how big it is?
TCS exists in Germany. I think TCS exists in Germany, but going back to the Germany, I mean, that's up to a person, because if the opportunities are good and there are very good products to build on in AI use cases, that's you can go back to any company. So TCS is also a very good company, and they do a lot of projects for the different clients across the globe, and they have a lot of potential use cases as well. And yes, as I also came from TCS, I would also say, because I think I am on the same path as you back then. So I was in TCS and I did a course from Upgrad. So but back then there is no opportunity for me to travel back to Germany. So there is only India course. Now they're offering the course to people to travel to Germany. So it's a really good path for people who is really looking for abroad opportunities.
Great. Siddharth again has asked one more question. Was there specialization when you were completing your Triple IT Bangalore course?
It's a PG diploma in data science.
You didn't have that time specialization. Now we have specializations as well, data engineering, data analytics. So that I will say the faculty in India as well as faculty in Germany, both will help you in deciding the specialization which you want to take. We'll give more details about it. During the time Kiran had done it, at that time we didn't have these many options. We just introduced them, I think, in last year and a half. So yeah, so his answer will be none, but yeah, we will help you. Don't worry. Okay, let me see which one I can dig in. Nishad Netaji. Okay, what is the salary of a fresher in Berlin? Do you have any idea?
What is the salary of fresher in Berlin? Okay. Fresher in Berlin means basically you get an opportunity as a junior role. So on an average, I would say a minimum of 55k euros per year. And it depends on the company again. So I'm just saying a minimum of 55k in any company usually you can get for a fresher.
55k in Indian currency is 49 lakhs. So I think that's a pretty huge number for even a fresher. So great. I think you just made this program much more attractive. So people who were asking this question whether you should do or not, I think Kiran has answered that question for you. Great. Whoever asked this question, I didn't intend to ask this question to Kiran because I'm typically avoiding the salary questions here, but I did. I am completely changing my domain via the PG program in Upgrad. How is the scope and future as a data scientist? And also that I'm 36-year-old. Is that a factor considering I'll be a completely fresher in the data science domain? So Nishad, you have not mentioned what you have been doing, but I'll still let. Is the age a factor? So as far as program structure is concerned, as the other parts are concerned, there is no restriction in terms of the student who is elder to go to Germany and complete the course. But Kiran, do you see that people in Germany will not like someone who's higher age?
It's nothing like that. So they just to consider your experience, how many years of experience. Based on that, they'll give you the role. It's not like based on the age they don't give you any role. So if you have only 2-3 years of experience in data science, even if you have an IT experience in 10 years, they'll give you a senior position. So if you say that there is no IT background or something, then the roles would be lesser. That's all. But they don't consider the age factor. So that's not the problem.
Sure. I believe we have
covered many of the data scientists, many of the senior leaders now. It's not like they have people who have 15 years experience. There is no data science like since 15 years, right? Many of the leaders in the head of data science, they have done data science like last 3-4 years in their career, and before that they were like developers, then they were like a lead to the teams and project managers. So they have an IT experience. Then on top of that, they added a data science skills to their portfolio. Then they become a head in data science.
I think Neetu is again one of the learners. She's asked a very relevant question. I think I'll ask you to answer. I think this might be a last one. So we pick. In a post-pandemic world where companies are accepting remote work as a given, will there still be jobs in Germany startups? In other words, what motivates them to employ people in Berlin, Munich, etc.? So will they start employing people directly in Hyderabad rather than asking them to come to Germany? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, remote work is there, but they can't hire people from other countries. So because you need to pay taxes and everything in Germany, because the German economy has to survive, right? So they can give you opportunities only in Germany. You can do completely remote work from home, but not from work from abroad. You can also work from abroad based on the company. So maybe 1 or 2 months, but end of the day, you have to come back in Germany. So.
Yeah, Neetu, just to add, see, companies have started working remote, but something which will be reversed when the pandemic subsides. And we are seeing this in US as well. Now the offices are starting. In India, so obviously people wanted to go to work in offices. So I don't think the hypothetical idea of working always from home will work. People will be going back to their offices. It's required. You need to have a face-to-face interaction many a time. And discuss topics and build relationships as well. Exactly. And not everything is formal and professional. There are something which are beyond that. I think that's where the companies will continue to hire in Germany and Berlin and would like to have a beer with you once you are there.
True, exactly. And also there is a vaccination drive is happening in every company right now. So after the vaccination, they want to make sure that employees come to office, not everyone, like once in a week, a few people to so make sure that everyone interact with each other personally, not virtually every time.
Yes, I think we have very. I will hold. I think he's saying he will hold anonymous attendee again. Hold Goethe certificate B2. I'm assuming this is a B2 German language certificate, which Kiran and I both don't know about much. Okay. In couple of months, and I am into transition phase owing to gaps and breaks as a result of education and work experience. That is MTech in automotive and 2 years analyst experience. I am planning to start afresh. What skills will you advise? So I'm assuming the question is, shall you take a data science course or not? Is this what you're trying to ask? And we are going to answer in that way because you have a B2 German language experience. Wonderful. You have a MTech in automotive, extremely important because Germany is the hub of automotive. Exactly. And you have a 2 years analyst experience. Kiran mentioned that data analyst is always good. Now, I think skill as a data scientist is one of the skills which you can acquire. Kiran, do you want to add something here?
I mean, no, you covered all these 3 points. So he has an experience, he has a language. So that's very, very good for his opportunities in Germany. He has a data analyst experience, so he can easily transition into data science. And he has an experience in automotive. As we know, Germany is one of the top in automotive. So be getting a data science opportunities in automotive industry with background of automotive in MTech and language with B2, it's very easy, I would say.
Great. I think now we're coming to the end of the our 1 hour session. Thanks a lot, everybody, for being here. I know there's still some questions left which we could not take up, but I'm assuming many of them are just copy of what we have been discussing, whether we can come from any other domain or not. And other questions, you will be helped by the counselors whom you are in touch with. And if required, we can do a one-on-one with Kiran as well for some of the learners who are keen to join the program. And thanks a lot, Kiran. I think it's a pleasure having you on a Saturday. And
thank you. I'm glad.
And you've really been helpful for many of the attendees, many of the learners who plan to take up a data science as a role. You'll be a role model for many of them that someone has gone from India and built a career in data science in Germany. I think many of them, when they come to Germany, might try to reach out to you. So expect a lot of LinkedIn requests. I'm assuming you will keep getting that. And yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks. It's been a very pleasure talking to you.